Speed up your computer using completely free tools. So today's video is going to be all about helping you get your computer to run faster using completely free software and stuff that doesn't require you to be like a tech genius or have a PhD to use. You see, most of the options out there being marketed to people these days, they include some kind of free scan, or they're being advertised on TV and they say, hey, come check us out. And then what they do is once you go there, they say, well, hey, we gave you this free scan. We found all this garbage on your hard drive. You need this expensive program to get rid of it. And making matters worse is these expensive tools really aren't that effective. Or then they'll try to say, well, here, the software didn't work all that well, but you can hire someone and they'll do it for you. Now, I'll tell you, those services really are effective. They really do work. But they're also expensive. They can cost up to $200 to have somebody clean all the junk off your hard drive. And you really, once you watch this video, you're not going to need to hire anybody to do it. So, making matters even, this is really bad stuff, is that some of these companies that actually promote this software actually produce the software that makes your computer run more slowly. They produce all this malware and trojans and stuff that really bog your computer down. And then they tell you have to buy their software in order to get rid of the same crap they just installed on your computer. So it's pretty scammy. It's a pretty dark and murky waters there, and I just would rather just tell you how to use the free stuff. So today we're going to learn about the professional software that really, if you hire somebody, this is what they're going to use to do this. All right, they don't use any expensive or proprietary software. They just use this free stuff. So, because why? Well, because the free stuff works way better than the paid stuff. I don't know why, that just happens to be how it is in this world right now. So without further ado, let's jump in, get started with getting your computer to run faster. Here's the stuff that I personally use whenever one of my friends calls me up and says, hey, will you come over and get my computer running faster? We got a bunch of viruses and downloaded a bunch of illegal porn and all this garbage on it. And I say, sure, just make sure there's beer in the fridge. I'll come fix it for you. All right, so let's get started. First thing you got to do, these are probably the two most important programs you need to get, and you need to get them on your computer right now. These programs will help you get rid of all that spyware and malware and garbage you just don't want sitting on your computer. First program is called Super Anti-Spyware. Okay, pretty simple name. Just Google the name for it, and you can download the free program. And when you try running the program the first time, and you'll update the whole thing, and they'll say, hey, here's for $10 you can get the pro version. And you really don't need it. It won't change how it scans. All it does is it says you can run it automatically instead of just doing it once a week as needed. I recommend just running it once a week as needed. There's really no need to spend the extra money. The second program is called Malwarebytes Anti-Malware. And what I do here is I just use this one as kind of the insurance policy to make sure the first one did all its work. But most of the time, it won't catch anything new and additional, but just once in a while, I like to have that little insurance policy by having two programs that do pretty much the same thing. I run them back to back, and boom, I'm done and good for another week. Okay, really simple. Get these two programs, start running them immediately. You'll see a big difference in your computer's speed. All right, next thing you got to do here, clean up your hard drive. This can make such a huge difference, especially if you have a computer that's a few years old, has a lot of stuff on it. As computers gather up more and more files and other accumulated garbage, they just kind of tend to run more slowly. Because a hard drive that's closer to its full capacity simply runs slower. That's just the way it is. So uninstall any programs that you don't need or don't use. All right, a lot of PCs these days come bundled with all this extra software they want you to try. Most of it, you're not going to ever use it. You can uninstall it. Next, delete files that you don't need. Say maybe you got a bunch of home videos or something that nobody really watches, or they're uploaded to YouTube and you don't need the big files on the computer anymore. You can just delete anything you don't actually need, and then make sure you empty the recycle bin so that they're permanently deleted. Next up, your desktop can get to be a pretty messy place. All right, just as a messy desk in real life can be cluttered and makes it hard to find things, so does a cluttered desktop on your computer screen. Not only is it cluttered, it also slows down your actual computer. So not only does it slow down you finding something, it actually slows the computer down physically because it has so many icons to deal with and try to display. So delete the ones that you don't use or don't use very often. Last up, once you've done those 4 steps up there, Now it's time to defragment your hard drive. The reason we do this is once we've removed all that other stuff, there can be lots of gaps and spaces on your actual hard drive, and if there's lots of gaps and spaces, it makes things run more slowly. And when it comes to hard drives, they're already the bottleneck in your computer and how fast it runs. All right, the hard drive's pretty slow. Most of the other things on your computer, pretty fast. So you want your hard drive running absolutely as fast as possible so that everything else can do its job and run quickly as well. Now the program I run for defragmenting is called Ozlogix, easy for me to say, right? Ozlogix Disk Defrag. It's a free program. It's better than the one that's built into Windows, runs more quickly, and it's more effective. Use whichever one you like. That happens to be the one that I've been using for years and years. And really, you don't need to pay for any type of expensive one on this either, because A, you can get a free one in your computer, or get this free one that works better. Okay, once you've done that, it's time to reduce all the programs that start up once your computer is running. Alright, all these startup programs take up more memory, they make your boot time last longer, and they slow everything down when they're running when you don't need them to be. Now, it used to be that we would use msconfig to go into the startup programs, and we'd click a little checkbox next to the stuff that we didn't want starting up. The problem is that this is written, well, this is written for engineers, basically. If you know what the programs are, you can look them up, and you can say, okay, I don't want this, this, and this. The problem is, it's really only designed for experts and people who actually know what they're doing on their computer. If that's not you, you don't want to use it, because if you disable the wrong things, you can completely mess up how your computer starts up, and it can be a big pain in the butt. So what I recommend is a really simple program out there now. It's called Soludo, and all it does, you install it, and it'll analyze your hard drive for what's starting up, and analyze the whole system, and it'll say, here's all the programs that you might be able to save some time running. It tells you how long each program added to the startup time of your computer. It tells you what it does in plain English so that you can understand it, and you can decide if you want to run it or not run it. And it even tells you what most other people did. So if 90% of people are saying, I don't need to start this up, you can probably say, I don't need to either. It's a nice kind of social proof thing, so you can see what other people are doing as well. So get this, and it'll make your computer start up a whole lot quicker, and everything will run more quickly. And again, if you know what you're doing, feel free to use msconfig, but Soludo does basically the same thing, but for the rest of us. Okay, next thing you need here is antivirus. This is very important. Now, here's kind of a dirty little secret. All antivirus programs are going to slow down your computer a little bit. But as far as PCs go, it's kind of the nature of the beast. We need antivirus on our computers. So I like to get ones that don't slow down your computer very much. And the problem is most of the ones that come pre-bundled with your computer, well, they may get rid of the viruses, but they're big programs. They're these security suites. They even have fancy sounding names. And they just take up tons and tons of resources and bog everything down. And I don't know why they continue to be such big resource hogs. They don't need to be. Now the one I recommend is Avast. It's fantastic. It's a free little program. It's for personal use. You can get it totally free. No strings attached. There's a pro version that they'll say, here you can download, or an internet security one that's even more expensive. Neither of them are really too badly priced, but you don't need them. You can just get the free versions. Now if you're thinking, well, hey, maybe I should just get a Mac if I have to have antivirus. Hey, that's fine. Right now there's not a big problem with antivirus or with viruses being on the Macs. Here's the problem. Macs are way, like miles and miles behind in terms of security compared to PC computers. So if anybody does kind of start getting around to making viruses for the Mac, well, you guys are pretty much going to be screwed in that case. So I just recommend getting some antivirus on your PC. Upgrade to a Mac later if you really want to, but right now just do the free solution. Alright, a couple things to avoid here, and then we are all done. One, I recommend you avoid registry cleaners. Alright, these things can actually fragment your registry, which is bad because we don't have defragmenting for that. And a fragmented registry can become corrupted and can actually result in your whole computer getting messed up and you actually needing to reinstall everything. That's a mess, that's a hassle, and you don't need to do it, okay? All this other stuff will take care of your computer just fine. This registry stuff is just kind of it's just not, you don't need it. Okay, if you see something being advertised on television to speed up your computer, ignore it. All right, and if you hear your friends talking about it, tell them about this video, okay? Say, here's some free stuff you can use. You don't need to spend that money. And if anything offers you a free scan, avoid it as well, because what are they trying to do? They're trying to upsell you a paid subscription to something. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want some more money saving tips, we have a bunch of stuff like this that just helps you save money, you know, nice little things that you can do to pocket a little bit of extra cash. You can visit us at debtreductionlessons.com, because we know, money's pretty tight for a lot of people right now, and we want to help you out and help you make some more money, or keep some more in your pocket, either way. Now, one thing here is, if you would, can you please help us spread the word about this video, okay? I don't get anything for making it. Nobody's paying me a dime to make you this video. I'm just doing it to help you out. So if you would, if it's helped you, only if it's helped you, of course. If that's the case, can you email it to a friend or post it on Facebook? You can even drop a Twitter bomb if you want, i.e. tweet about it. Alright, or just even a simple little thumbs up or a positive comment down below would be greatly appreciated. I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.